This is the ultimate level 40 Amon build. This build has insane survivability, insane damage, and is so much fun. And the best thing is, it requires no farming process, meaning you can make it right now and get straight back to playing Borderlands 4 with an incredible build. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact skill tree, gear, and gameplay loop for this level 40 Amon build. Now, in terms of the gameplay loop, it is very simple. We are using our action skill and our forge skill as our main damage output. For our action skill, before we go into it, we're going to try and get 2 or 3 kills with our weapon. That way we can trigger some of them kill skills in our build so we can have more melee damage, meaning we can one-shot straight out the gate with our action skill. In terms of our forge skill, we're going to be using it during our action skill to increase the duration, or we're going to use it outside of our action skill to reduce the cooldown. And that is it. It's a very simple gameplay loop. Just punch everything in your way with your action skill until it stops moving. Now, in terms of gear, there is nothing actually crucial you need to farm for gear. This is not a weapon build, so weapons are pointless in this build. As you can see from my most used weapons being the Wombo Combo and Gore Master, they are 7 and 8 levels below. This is because I'm not worried about my weapon damage at all. It's out the window. The Wombo Combo hits like a fridge, hence why I'm still using it even though it's a level 33. And for the Gore Master, it's 8 levels below, but it's incendiary damage, and this build boosts incendiary damage, which helps this to hold its own even at level 40. Now, in terms of the other gear, your ordnance we are only going to be using when we don't have our action skill, which is not much of the time. So this is also fairly pointless. You don't need a special one, just put one on that does damage. Again, for the enhancement, this is personal preference. Mine helps my Wombo Combo be a little bit better. That's the only use I have for it. These two are pointless. And then for the shield, I highly recommend an energy shield. This is because there are points in our skill tree which helps with shield and shield capacity, and I believe an energy shield is the way to go for these skills to get the most of their use. Now, the two most important parts are the rep kit and the class mod. For the rep kit, if you have access to specializations, then a quick rep kit will be key. This is because if we have this skill, the now with caffeine, this means every time we use a rep kit, we get a 25% cooldown to our action skill. So if you do have access to specializations, a quick rep kit would be key. And then finally for the class mod, you do not have to have a special class mod. The only reason I have this class mod on is because it changes my forge skill to an incendiary damage type. An incendiary damage type gets boosted in this build. So essentially, all I'm getting from this legendary class mod is a slightly better forge skill. That is it. If you wanted to put on just a random purple class mod, that is absolutely fine. Just to reiterate, nothing in this gear thing is actually that helpful. It's all down to our skill tree that is the key component to this build. Now for the skill trees. For the skill, we are using Onslaughter. Pressing our action skill button will make us do a rocket punch, dash into the target enemy, dealing fire melee attack damage in a short range cone, and we can also cause enemies to stagger with this. For our augment, we are using Pyroclast. Whenever Onslaughter is activated, we fully restore our health and shields, and we are surrounded by a Forge Storm that deals fire damage to nearby enemies over time. Killing an enemy inside this Forge Storm will restore some of our action skill duration and increases our Forge Storm's damage. So essentially, anyone we kill within sort of face value with our melee attacks or gun attacks will give us more action skill duration. And then finally for the capstone, we are using Stormcutter. Press and hold your action skill button to swing a massive Forge Sword, launching a Forge Wave that deals shock melee damage to all the enemies it passes through. If you do have the class mod, this will obviously be fire damage instead. Another cool benefit of this capstone is every enemy we hit is going to either reduce our action skill cooldown, or if we're in our action skill, it's going to increase our action skill duration, and it's going to reduce our ordnance cooldown for every enemy hit as well. Now in terms of these skills, I'm going to show you all the skills, and then I'll show you what order to put them in. To begin with, we have some incendiary damage. This is going to help our fire punch and our fire weapons, and fire weapons are important in this build for later down the line. We are going to put 5 points into melee crit chance, so that way we can get crit damage with our melee abilities. This counts as our action skill onslaughter as well. And we're going to put 3 points in heavy plate to help with survivability, giving us more shield capacity and regen. And then we are going to put 5 points into titanium knuckles. This is going to increase our melee damage and skill damage. Then we are going to put 1 point into the best defense, so that we get some overshield whenever we deal melee damage. And we're going to put a point into forged and steel, so that way whenever we use our forge skill, we are going to get damage immunity for 6 seconds. We are then going to go over to this right hand skill tree, and we're going to put 5 in catastrophe. This means whenever Amon applies burning to an enemy, we get increased crit damage for a duration. This also counts as our melee crit damage as well. Since it's a fire build, this is going to be very helpful. Then we are going to put 5 points into Fist of Stone. Whenever Amon deals melee damage, we restore a percentage of forge skill cooldown. This is going to help us be able to just continuously throw our Storm Cutter and our melee abilities. Our Storm Cutter is going to reduce our action skill cooldown, and our action skill is going to reduce our Storm Cutter cooldown. These go hand in hand. Then for the final skill, we are using the electrical fire. Whenever we burn an enemy, we are also going to shock them, and vice versa. This is a fire build. This is how we're going to get some shock damage on enemies, helping with shields whenever we do use a fire weapon. Now for the middle skill tree, we are using Into the Fray. Amon gains increased damage dealt and damage reduction based on the distance from the enemies. This is going to help us get more damage when we're up close, and more damage reduction when we're further away. Next up, we are putting 5 points into Harbinger. Kill skill, Amon gains increased melee damage and maximum shield capacity for a duration. We can get 5 stacks of this, and each stack will be 10%. Meaning, after we get 5 kills, we are going to have a 50% damage melee increase, which in turn is going to increase our onslaughter action skill. Now, in terms of the order you should be putting these points in, I would put 3 points into heavy plate. I would then put 2 points into discombobulate. I would then put 5 points into titanium knuckles, and then I would just fill out this top area after that. Once you filled out this top area, I would fill out this top area until you get access to these bottom skill trees, in which case I would then jump down to this right hand skill tree. I would put 5 points in catastrophe, 5 points in Fist of Stone, 1 point in electrical fire, and then we can also put on our capstone. Then I would jump down this middle skill tree, put 5 into the Fray, 5 into Harbinger, and then I would complete the rest of the skill tree as you see on your screen. And that is it. That is my level 40 Amon build. This build is devastatingly strong, easy to access, easy to use, and insanely fun to play. And this build is guaranteed to get you up to that top level of level 50. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, a like and subscribe goes a very long way, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.